Everybody, peace, love. How y'all doing today? It's Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Tack för sist. Välkommen tillbaka. Hvis du är norsk, det är käckt att ha dig här. Thank you for the last time. Welcome back if you're Norwegian, and welcome back no matter who you are, no matter where you're from. I dig y'all. So, I was thinking about what I should do for my next story, and because my Freaky Story 1 and Freaky Story 2 both seem to have a fair bit of interest, especially the first one. And I know I didn't put enough detail in it. I may retell that story in, a month or two and go into all the detail I can remember. Try to get past my, I don't know what, heebie-jeebies. But I've got a story of today kind of along similar lines. Scary, freaky, out there. I don't even know what you'd call it. Have any of you ever watched the, I think it's Netflix, but I actually think it's on several channels, streaming devices, Skinwalker Ranch. My wife and I have really got into that, even though nothing really happens ever. I mean, they see some kind of cool stuff. It's like most of those shows. It just leads you on, like the Bigfoot one and the searching for the gold and all of them. They just kind of lead you and lead you and lead you. And you're like, oh, something big's going to happen here pretty soon. I know it. It just never does. But we got really into it. I think we've seen the first 3 seasons. There might be a new season, but I don't think it's on Netflix yet. So we'll wait till we can get it on there. But I don't exactly know what skinwalkers are, even though I'm about to tell a story about possibly one. But they are kind of supernatural beings from another dimension. Sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't. So to set the scene, we were camping about an hour and a half, 2 hours from here, very close to Skinwalker Ranch. I'd say we were within 10 miles of it. We were in the same area. If you're familiar with that area in kind of central east Utah, out by what's the name of the town? I'm flaking on the town now. Out past Fruta. I'll come up with the name. Anyway, it's a couple hours from here. And so we were right in the area where Skinwalker Ranch is, where all that supposed, paranormal stuff happened. And we were camping at a friend's property there. It was a gated area. I mean, like several properties were inside one gate. So you drive into a gate and then there'd be a long road and you turn off into different properties. I don't know if it was a dozen or 40 homes in there, but his was towards kind of the end of the road. And then it's tucked in if you're familiar with kind of that part of Utah, it's a lot of like scrub pine and junipers, kind of dry, deserty type plants. It's a beautiful area. It's just, it's not like aspens and giant pine trees, just to kind of set the scene. So so he had a home there, and we all brought our trailers up, our camping trailers, and we were all camping there. And you know how it gets if you're into camping. We'd been partying all day long. I can't remember if it was the first or second night there, but we'd had a fair bit of beer at that point. So it was getting to be evening, and you got to remember, this is all in an enclosed area. It wasn't on highways or streets or anything like that. It's just dirt roads, dirt trails. Kind of in the late afternoon. If I had to guess, I'd say it was probably 5, 6 o'clock. Like the sun wasn't down yet. It was still 2-3 hours from setting, but it was getting later in the day. My daughter and her boyfriend were with us at the time, and we had our trailer set up, and it was a decent sized trailer, and behind it I saw my daughter and her boyfriend walk back there. So I kind of walked on the other side of the trailer, probably about 50 feet from where they would have been, and I said, Hannah, what are you doing? I won't say her boyfriend's name. It's I yelled both of their names, Hannah and Mike. What are you doing? Let's call them, I don't know, Jimmy. Hannah and Jimmy, what are you guys doing back there? And nothing. So I start walking towards the trailer. Hannah, what are you guys doing? Nothing. And I walk all the way to the back of the trailer, and I look past there, and I'm like, what are they doing? Are they screwing with me? So I walked around the trailer, looked back up the other way. They're not there. So I start scanning the trees, and I kind of yelled her name. And then she yells at me back from like way inside the camp, like a couple of 100 feet away. There's no way she got from there to there. And I says, how did you get from there to, I don't remember the exact wording, but basically, how did you get over there? And she's like, what are you talking about? We've been here. So that was kind of the first sign of something, okay? And I'll be honest, I got some chills down my back. I'm like, what did I see? I saw something very clearly, but kind of like the story I told about my buddy who had the evil presence that wasn't really shaped. You know, it was just kind of human form, but not really a shape to it. That's kind of what I saw, but I was looking out of the corner of my eye. So when I saw them, it wasn't like looking right at them. So I saw movement. I thought I saw two things moving. And that's kind of a big thing too, because like I've mentioned before, if you follow Art Bell back in the day, and George Norrie took over after him, you know, they get into this kind of stuff all the time, and it's really fun. I used to drive cross country at night and listen to that show, unless it got into really creepy stuff, then I'd have to change it. But they used to talk about shadow people, I think they called them, and you could only kind of see them out of your peripheral vision. You couldn't look right at them. So that's what popped in my head when I finally realized my daughter and her boyfriend are way back there. They're not up here. So yeah, I got some chills. I went and told everybody what had happened, and you know, my wife's kind of like, well, you know, you probably thought you saw something. And even though she's kind of into this stuff, she's more into this stuff than I am. I'm like, no, I saw something back there. And then somebody brought up Skinwalkers. And by this point, this was probably 3 summers ago, maybe. So odds are we'd already seen that show. So I'd heard of Skinwalkers. And like I said, this area out there, we were right in the middle of it, is famous for supposed skinwalker sightings, skinwalkers doing things. I still don't know exactly what they are. But I kind of told people, and people were like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Fast forward, I don't know, 4 hours. We got a fire going. Everybody's drinking. You know, just laughing, having fun. All of a sudden, we hear like this screeching noise. And everybody kind of stopped. It's like, did you hear that? What was that? Was that a horse? No, that wasn't a horse. And we listened. Nothing. So we kind of started the music back up, started laughing and joking and drinking. And here comes this screech again. This time it was louder. And I have a buddy who I've never seen scared before. He's a big dude. I won't use his real name. We'll call him Joe. Joe and his wife were standing kind of up against the trailer with their backs to the trailer, but they were, you know, they're standing 3-4 feet out. And we all stopped again. And nothing. So we kind of started talking and mingling. When it came again, I think everybody heard it. And my friend Joe, I've never seen just this look of terror on his face. He backed right up to the trailer, so his back was against it, and he was just looking. He was just terrified. So another friend of mine who had a lot of liquid courage going, we'll call him Billy. That's not his real name. Billy says, let's jump in the side-by-side and go see if we can see what's making this noise. And he's looking around, and he's like, who wants to go with you or go with me? And nobody raises their hand. And I just kind of lift my beer up, and he goes, oh, Arnold to come with me. And I was like, what? So, you know, I didn't want to look like a total chicken shit. So I got in the side-by-side with him, and we started putting, you know, down this dirt road. And when you get out kind of on the main dirt road, it's not narrow, but one side is kind of a drop off into trees, and then this side is the hillside, and my friend's property is just right on top there. So it's all trees along there, and it's dark at night, but the moon is out, which I think is key. So we start driving down this road really slow, and I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and I said, stop, Billy, stop. And I look, and I don't see anything. So he starts driving again, and I'm like, whoa, stop. And now I'm getting full on chills because I know I saw something running. Nothing. The third time I said stop, I looked just in time to see some sort of figure, not an animal. It wasn't on all fours. I don't know what it was because it was moving fast. I kind of had the shape of a human, but I just couldn't tell because it was in the trees. But it ran out in front of us. I was like, holy crap, Billy, man, that thing is in front of us. It could, and I don't know if he saw it. I think he saw motion, but he was, driving, so he wasn't looking right there. And I'm freaking out thinking, if we pull forward now and this thing's standing in the middle of the road, what do we do? Run it over, back up as fast as we can? I mean, the way the thing was moving, I don't know how fast it was, but it was fast. And so Billy's like, well, we'll just jam on the gas. So, and it wasn't very far, just a couple 100 feet up until we turned back into my friend's property on the other side. And we didn't see anything. We went back up into the property, and he's driving slow back up into the property. I'm like, dude, hit the gas. I do not want to be out here with whatever that is. It's not friendly. And did you hear the noise it made? I mean, it didn't make the noise when I saw it when we drove past the trees. It only made the noise when we were all in camp. And we got back to camp, and I told everybody what I saw. I think about half the camp was like, that's just crap. You're seeing things. And I think half the camp was kind of like, what the hell is out here? We still hung out and played music until late into the night, and we never heard anything else, never saw anything else. But I had those two things, thinking I saw my daughter and her boyfriend, and then whatever this thing running alongside of us. Also, I didn't mention, excuse me, it was big. Like, if it was a human, it was 6'10", 7 feet. Bigfoot? I don't know. And granted, I'd been drinking, so, my mind, I guess, could have been playing tricks with me. But earlier in the day, when I thought I saw my daughter, I'd had maybe 1 or 2 beers, so it wasn't that then. I don't know. Anybody have any experiences like this, specifically in Utah, but anywhere? Utah is famous for skinwalkers. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. And, looking back now, it's one of those fun things that you can, sorry, itchy nose. One of those fun stories you can tell and you kind of look back on. But, if I go back to his property, actually our trailer's too big to get up there now. So odds are we won't be back there. We still hang out with him, but we just can't get our trailer up into his property anymore. It's a pretty narrow, turny road. So yeah, I'd love to hear if any of you have experienced something like that. I'd like to hear it. I've been reading all the comments that come in on all the videos. I think I'm caught up. I keep going back, because I hate missing any. You take the time to comment. I want to be respectful and say thank you. Thanks for commenting and talk to you back. So I really do try. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Thanks for subscribing. And really thanks for all the comments. I've had so many cool comments, not just on the Mormon videos, but on lots of other ones too. And I'm having fun doing this. So as long as y'all keep watching and interacting with it, because what's the point of me talking if nobody watches? I can do that by myself when I'm working, mumble and mutter to myself like an old man. So I would love to hear your experiences. I won't ramble on any longer. Tack för denna gången. Det var käckt att ha dig här. Hoppas du kommer tillbaka nästa gång. Thank you for this time. It was fun having y'all here. I hope you come back next time. And I hope you have a great day, a great weekend. Peace. Love.